I woke up to the sound of scratching inside my bedroom wall. At first I thought I was dreaming till I heard it again. Slow, deliberate, like fingernails dragging against the wood. My skin prickled, and I held my breath, listening in the dark. What would you do if you realized something was living inside your walls and it knew your name? When I moved into that old rental house, I wasn't expecting much. It was cheap, close enough to work, and I just needed a place to sleep between shifts. The neighborhood was quiet, maybe too quiet. Most of the houses looked like they hadn't been updated since the 70s. The kind of place where everyone pulls their blinds down at night and the street feels abandoned after dark. The house itself was small, one-story, a creaky porch, narrow hallways. It always felt a little too dark, even in the daytime. I remember noticing how cold the air was inside, like the sunlight could never really reach the corners of the rooms. At first, life there was peaceful. I worked late, came home tired, ate whatever I could heat up, and fell asleep. The house creaked sometimes, and the pipes rattled, but I ignored it. Old houses make noise. I told myself, nothing to worry about. But then came the scratching. It started faint, just a soft scrape, like something dragging along the walls. I thought it might be mice or raccoons in the attic, but night after night, the sound grew louder, more deliberate. I'd wake up around 3 in the morning, heart pounding, listening to the sound move along the wall behind my bed. Slow, measured, not random, not frantic, but steady, like someone was testing how far they could go before I noticed. One night, curiosity got the better of me. I pressed my ear against the wall. At first, nothing, just silence. And then, breathing, heavy, shallow, like someone pressed their mouth against the other side, listening back. I froze, my blood turning cold. I jumped away from the wall and didn't sleep the rest of the night. The next morning, I called the landlord. He laughed, said, "Old house, they all do that. You'll get used to it." I wanted to believe him, but I couldn't shake the way that breathing felt, how human it had sounded. The nights got worse. The scratching followed me now. If I sat in the living room, it would start behind the couch. If I cooked in the kitchen, I'd hear it under the cabinets. It was always near me, always close. Then came the whispers, at first, muffled, just the faintest sound of speech, like someone trying to talk through a pillow. I thought I was imagining it. But one night, around 3 a.m., I woke up to a voice. Clear, right next to me. It whispered my name, Daniel. I froze. My throat went dry. I couldn't breathe. I moved my bed to the center of the room, away from the wall. It didn't matter. Wherever I slept, the whispers followed. Always around 3, always closer than before. By the second week, I was barely sleeping. My eyes stung from exhaustion. My hands shook at work. People asked me if I was sick. I couldn't tell them the truth. Who would believe me? I started noticing signs during the day. Scratches along the baseboards. Tiny holes in the drywall that hadn't been there before. Once, when I dropped my keys, I bent down to grab them and swore I saw something move behind a crack in the wall, a shadow pulling back just as I looked. I tried everything, sleeping with the lights on, blasting music, even staying up all night. Nothing helped. The sounds were always there. Finally, one night, I snapped. I grabbed a hammer and a flashlight. I was done being scared of shadows. I was going to see what was inside. I stood in the bedroom, heart hammering, staring at the wall. I tapped on it once. To my horror, it tapped back. Perfect rhythm. Deliberate, like it was mocking me. My hands trembled as I raised the hammer and smashed a hole into the drywall. The smell hit me instantly, rot mold and something metallic. I gagged and shoved the flashlight inside. What I saw made my stomach drop. There was a tunnel, a narrow, human-sized passage carved between the studs, lined with dirty blankets, food wrappers, and crude drawings scratched into the wood eyes. Dozens of them, staring at me, watching, and then I saw it. In the corner, just beyond the light, a single human eye. It blinked. Before I could react, something lunged forward. A pale figure shot out of the darkness. Its limbs too long, its skin stretched tight across bone, its joints bent wrong. It clawed through the hole, whispering my name in a guttural, broken voice. I stumbled back, screaming, the flashlight beam slicing across its face. Grey skin, sunken cheeks, a mouth stretched too wide, filled with jagged, broken teeth. It crawled halfway out of the wall like an insect, its nails screeching across the floorboards. The whispers turned to shrieks. My name. Over and over. I bolted from the room, barefoot, sprinting into the cold night air. The police came. They searched the walls, tore into the drywall. But when they showed me, all I saw was wood and insulation. No tunnel, no blankets, no drawings, nothing. They told me I must have imagined it. Stress, maybe. Lack of sleep. But I know what I saw. I know what touched me. I moved out the next morning, packed my things and left. The landlord didn't even ask why. It was like he already knew. I found a new apartment across town, safer, brighter. The walls are solid. I thought I was free. But sometimes, late at night, just as I'm about to drift off, I hear it again, scratching. Faint at first, but closer each time. Sometimes, I swear I still hear my name.